Hi there, my name is Freddie Shainfield, and I want to play one of the tracks that I composed for Pulsor. And this is an orchestral track, so the idea is to show you some of the sounds that I use and how they work in an orchestral configuration, and also maybe talk a little bit about the orchestration and the music. So let me play back the whole thing first so you can listen to it. Okay, so the first thing we hear is actually Pulsar playing with some strings, I think. So let me play back that section just to remember. Yeah, so for this sound I'm using the high bells tension arpeggiator. One of the stems actually, stem C. You know, if you have the library, you know that a lot of the pulses, actually all the pulses have stems, which are just submixes of the main sounds. And I use a lot of those here. They blend very good. They're a little bit they're simpler than the main thing. So for instance, this. This is very simple, very organic. yeah, so I'm playing with that, and I'm also playing the subtle pad. Just to give some air, same with the atmospheric pad. And some of the hits, I think this is the big hit, big hit right here. And these are really good when you combine them with acoustic percussion, like sample percussion, for instance. You know, they're very sensible to velocity. So this one, I think, yeah, I'm playing it with some of the Albion stuff, and I think I should talk a little bit about what orchestral sounds I'm using. So basically, everything here is Pulsar, everything that is not orchestral, and for the orchestral, you know, I have a pretty big palette. It's a mix of a lot of the stuff, but the main things I've used in this track is basically for the strings. I'm using a lot of Albion from Spitfire, and I like to combine it with a couple of libraries. I like to combine it with Sable, which is like a smaller ensemble of strings, and also with the ADO. What is it? Yeah, right here, the Adagio violins. So these are really good when you want to play melodies. They have a lot of they have really nice legato stuff. I use this sound a lot, the ET. So yeah, they were really well. But now, whenever I use the Adagio strings or the Sable collection, I am always mixing it with Albion. Albion has this huge sound. It has a lot of air. If you feel the whole, the only problem with it is that it doesn't have much definition. Especially when you want to play like short stuff, or you want to play, you want to move along long notes. Even though it has a couple of legato patches, they work okay. But if you combine it with like ADO, the Adagio violins for the legato stuff, or Sable, man, it's just amazing. Let me show you a little bit what I'm talking about. Like, for instance, I like a lot the spiccatos on Albion, and I usually start composing everything using Albion. Like if I'm doing a spiccato section, I start playing like a combination of the high-low spiccatos. So it's really good. It's very good for fast stuff. But when you combine that with more present strings, like a smaller ensemble, like Sable, it starts sounding a little bit more random. You start hearing a little bit of the soloist more, and it blends really well. So I'll show you that in this section where I start playing the staccato stuff. But it's kind of the same for the legato things, where you combine it. You hear when you have the full Albion playing, and you hear like a solo violin playing, or a small ensemble. You can actually hear the musician, but you also have this big bed of sound that Albion is playing. And I even combine those with soloists. Like I'm using a lot of Emberton collection for the solo violins and the solo cello, so I tend to double everything with that. So let me show you, for instance, right here. So this is mostly, Yeah, so this section here is very simple. It's just a couple of lines. I'm combining, I think I'm using the flotando from Sable. You know, very simple stuff. Then if I keep using for Pulsor, yeah, I already talked about this. And then when I go to the spiccato section, so I'm still playing that little bell in Pulsar and some of the pads, the glassy atmospheric pad. And the strings, here's pretty clear how I'm combining. Like I'm doing these patterns with Albion. This is how I actually started the composition. So it sounds good already, and it's very simple stuff. Like on the high spiccato, I'm playing what would be the cellos, maybe even violas combined. Just this pattern here, and then on the low strings, that little pattern. You know, when you're playing together, you get this nice combination. Then same thing, but you hear this motif here, which is one of the main motifs with the cello. But then if I combine this with Sable, where is it? Okay, there we go. Let me just turn it all Sable. To start blending more, start feeling like a more live ensemble. I'm also playing a little of the Coleño sound right here. You can see it here, I think. It's just to give a little of that sound to the strings. And a couple of Coleños also from Sable. So that's it. That's oh no, actually, and also, like I said before, I'm using the Everturn, which is this cello here. Let me turn all Everturn. So it's this motif here. So when you mix that with the other stuff, it really sounds like you're hearing a musician within all the ensemble. Okay, so we're still playing these sounds on Pulsar, and now I introduce the soft metallic pulse, one of the stems, stem C. So you can hear it here when start playing. This thing here. It's very sensible to velocity too. What else I'm playing here? And I'm playing a little bit with the retro arpeggios. Chart this right here. and I'm combining that with the strings too. I just realized you can vary here. Well, I also playing the fast runs here. Oh, by the way, I'm doubling that motif with the harp, and I think the Woodwinds, yeah, right here. So I didn't talk about the rest of the orchestra. The Woodwinds I'm mainly using Albion right now. If I want to play soloist, I think I have the ADO flutes and the clarinets, and I think I didn't use anything else for this particular track. Maybe some Hollywood winds for the runs. So this is what the Woodwinds are playing. Yeah, just doubling that motif. And then the clarinet. So all this stuff you can't really hear on the main thing because it's blending. The idea is that everything plays together with the strings and the harp, and you hear this big running thing going back and forth. I don't want to make very obvious who is playing what, just because the sounds and the samples are, it's very easy to hear that you're not using a real orchestra when you play fast legato stuff. It's kind of the weakest points on any library, I think, especially the strings. So what I did on this section, let me play first. Yeah, so it's mainly the strings playing the runs. Again, I'm combining I think for this the main thing playing here is the sable. Okay, so right here. So you play it like that, it doesn't sound great. I'm using the legato violin, which is cool for fast stuff, and the tremolo at the same time. Just because it feels more, I tend to double those runs with tremolo all the time, just because you kind of hear more air to them, and again more randomness, so you can fool the ear a little bit more. What else? One of the other things that I'm playing here that really blends everything together is the LA scoring strings. I don't use them a lot, but for some things they're really great. Like I like the tremolos, and you can hear the difference once I unmute them. So it really helps blending the whole thing. And again, I'm using the tremolos for that, not even legato stuff. It just works better, I think. What else? Oh, I forgot to solo the violins too. And yeah, I think that's it. And besides that, as usual, I'm using also violins, the solo violins from Emberton, and I doubled this one. I use the legato stuff, and also tremolo violins. So when you hear the whole thing, So you cannot hear the violin there playing a few notes. You know, when you hear the whole sequence, it's hard to detect, but it helps a little bit to hide the fact that this is not an orchestra. And I doubled with I doubled that runs with the high legato on Albion and the Woodwinds, like you heard before. And some of the short notes as well, just to give some definition. It's actually a different line too. And I think I use the harp too. Let's see, yeah, I'm using some of the Spitfire harp. So this is mostly orchestral, except for the retro prelude that I was showing you before, and this one is playing. I kind of bounce it here because I wanted to control the mix a little bit better, but I was just playing the minor chord. I think I didn't even play the major. It works because combined with the runs, it kind of sounds even more sci-fi, and again, it helps to hide a little bit the run, the actual samples. Yeah, so that's that thing here. Besides all this, what is giving the groove and the basis is this sound, the Pulsar, the passive aggressive pulse. So this one, I think it's also a stem. Yeah, it's stem A. So you can hear very simple stuff. So I start using some filtering here. Yeah. I think I noted here that this is a modified arpeggio, and that just means that I tweak it a little bit. And what I did is I think when you play the actual Pulsar arpeggio, it had a different rhythm, so I just locked it to 8 steps, so 16, so it would fit better this sequence. What else? Let me play it. I think that's it for now. There's some percussion going on, like I have the mic hit playing, and I have this sound. It's a huge metallic instrument. It's called, I think it's in the others folder. It's nice. It has like a it works to give a little bit of like brightness too. Yeah, and as far as percussion, you know, it's all the stuff that you hear from Pulsar, and you have also the regular percussion from Albion. There's a little bit of the epic stuff, and for the traditional ensemble, I'm using cinematic percussion. That's the name of the library. Oh, my memory. Okay, yeah, Cineperc. I don't think you can see it on that window. Maybe on the other video. So yeah, it's pretty standard stuff. Nothing crazy. And I think that's it. That's the whole palette. So let's move along. There's a little bit of piano too. I don't. You can hear here, but actually I muted. I don't think I use maybe a couple of low notes. For piano, I'm using 2 different pianos. I like to use the Steinway ADO piano with a lot of reverb for like nice melodic stuff. So, and the Steinway piano from Eastwood is really good too. So this one is a little brighter, and it works really good when you wanna accent like low notes. But I think, yeah, I wasn't playing it here. I think later on I'll use it too. It's just a different kind of sound, brighter. It has more presence. The Steinway from ADO is a little, I guess, more dreamy. So that's it. Let me keep playing. Okay, so this section, yeah, first thing we have this singer here. What is it right here? I think this is an ADO collection. I don't even remember what is it called. Let me check. Liveries. I'm doubling a couple of sounds here. One is just a soloist. You know, I didn't name it, of course, but I remember this is just a solo singer. And this is like a 2 or 3 singers playing. So it's kind of the same concept here. I'm playing the ensemble, and I also playing a soloist just to give a little bit more definition, and it just blends better for me. And what else? I'm playing a lot of Pulsor here. This is a Pulsor section. I need to feature it. So the main thing, let's just solo Pulsar here. Can we do that? Yeah, synth samples. So we have this little feel here. That's a punch bell pulse. Yeah, I think this is the full sound. It's super useful. So I'm using that a lot. I think I start with that feel and then I keep playing it. I'm also using the huge metallic instruments just for basses, and the high bell tension, just one note thing. I'm doubling that little motif that the piano is also doing. Let me just solo the piano first so you can hear. Okay, so that's the Steinway piano, and by the way, I just heard a mistake. Okay, and the high bell tension, playing it, doubling to hide that mistake, I guess. Okay, so you can hear that I'm not a great piano player, obviously. But you can hide it using this kind of tricks. What else? I'm playing the big low percussion pulse. This is actually a pulse that I'm using as one note hit. So you can, let me play it. That's a nice delay going on. It's very simple, but if you let it play, it has a little bit of a pattern, so you can use it either way. And I usually double it with something, some like a real percussion. Oh, maybe I did in this case. Let me hear. Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's just that playing. So, well, let me show you the what else? Oh, the distorted brass pad. This is nice. It has a nice distortion controlling when you play the modulation wheel. Can be very subtle. So it has that little edge, like that tension that you can use for subtle cues. And in this case, I'm just doubling the melody, and I think I sometimes use a filter for fills. And I'm just using the big poly brass. This is a big analog sound. So I'm just doubling, I think, the distorted brass with that. So if I play just the Pulsor stuff. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I'm actually using an electric bass. It's just like a, I think it's like a contact. It comes with contact, like a default mini Moog thing. So I'm cheating a little bit, but I just only use this for to give some weight to some sections. Sometimes when I feel like the bass is not enough and I don't want you to hear the bass, I just want to help the mix a little bit. Okay, so then we come this epic section, I think. And of course, before we talk about this, I forgot to mention what I'm using on the brasses, which is also Cine brass, I think. Actually, I'm using Cine brass, and I'm also using a little bit of Spitfire for the solo stuff. I think I also double this with a soloist and a yeah. So I play a solo line and I double it with a legato line on two voices playing at the same time, two horns. And I'm using a lot of the ADO strings here, playing those melodies. I think doubling the singer. So yeah, pretty high range, and the main thing that is playing here is in the next section on the epic, or what I think is epic, is this little patch. Is a pulse percussion tension. So if you play with the mod wheel, it has a little bit of that noise rhythm going on, so it can help to build tension and epic sections. I didn't do it here. It's not a huge section. It's just to get that sound. And I'm doubling that with these strings here. I think it's the lay scoring strings as well. Just playing repetitive notes and a bunch of spiccato stuff, just like before. I'm just combining all these different libraries. So let me just play. So it's a big string or section here. So yeah, it's the little motif again, played by the low spiccato on Albion, doubling by the cellos on the on Sable, and probably also on Emerton. Yeah, right here. So. Then we hear a little bit of the punch bell pulse again. Yeah, I have to start everything at the same time. Okay, so the next section, which is this here. So yeah, this is mostly Pulsar as well. I think the main thing, well, we have against this. Oh no, this is a new pulse. This is a complex filter pulse. It's just playing, I think, the low range. So this one is also stem B. Playing a little bit of. Yeah. What else I'm playing here? And I'm using the inspiring pad, which is super useful. I think I use it a lot. It has that tremolo thing going on. Yeah, so it works great for epic stuff, but it also works for soft. I'm also using harp, of course, doubling by the piano, I think. Yeah, it's just like different rounds, and that little melody there that we hear. So yeah, there's a little effect there that I added. Let me just unmute it so you hear the original track. So I just added the volume shaper. This is a really cool plugin. You can use it for a lot of stuff, but I think it's designed for techno when you wanna duck the bass when you're playing like a quarter notes. It works great for that, so you don't need to do side chaining and all that stuff, but it works also for pads and stuff like that, so you can, because it has a lot of patterns. So yeah, that's what I did. I just bounced it here, and I added a little bit of that so you get that rhythm. I only did it, I bounced it the pad, and you can hear the main thing and the reverb as well, which was bouncing a different track. but I didn't apply that effect to the reverb. So you still get some of the wash out. So what else? I'm also playing the high bells tension here. I think we used it before. Yeah, we did. The complex filter and the little fast retro arpeggios, the major and minor, of course. So I'm also using the Zebra high bell tension, which is this thing here. Let me just solo it because it's very subtle. Just for chords. Same here. And that's it. The rest is just on line on a violins, high violins, doubled by the Albion. And what else? That's it. Some percussion. The timpani is finally playing something. Oh, I was actually playing before a little bit too. Yeah. And the bass drum and cymbals. So yeah, this epic section here, you obviously hear the big strings playing. And we are also hear some of the brasses. Let me just solo the brass to show you what's going on here. So a bit of a crescendo going on. So this is the intro again, but now I'm using that little motif that we established with the piano. So now we have this legato section. I think I'm only using a couple of sounds here from Pulsor. Yeah, just the subtle pad and maybe the distorted pad too. I think I hear it more. Yeah, right here. At the beginning of the thing. Yeah, distortion on the right. This is mostly strings here. What I did and the way I usually compose legato sections is just like with the spiccatos. I would start using Albion. So I normally play either the long string patch, which is the whole section, or maybe I just play the high and low long section together. So I just play that. I compose the voicings in there, and then like you can hear everything here, almost everything play, but just this pad of strings. And this is a low string playing. I think this is a cello line. No, the bass line, I'm sorry. So I start by composing the section with these two pads, but then I just copy some of the lines to the other libraries. To ADO, for instance, I'm using the two high lines, playing violins, the two violins, and maybe even the viola part if it's high enough. like I'm playing something else too. Okay. It's really nice there. Same with the solo violin on the violins on the Emberton collection. A cello and violins playing here. It sounds like a little ensemble. I'm of course also Sable right here. So when you add Albion, you got all the weight and the lush sound. Yeah, so it works when you combine them. What else? The next section. This thing here. Right here, I'm sorry. So besides the singer and the strings and the harp, we have this pad that I like a lot. We have the subtle pad. We talked about it before, but also the pulsing pad, which is really useful for this kind of stuff. You know, it's for like when you want to add a little bit of momentum to a soft section without being too strong. You know, it works right. And if you use a mod wheel to the max, basically you lose the pulse. So you can transition. Yeah. And I'm just also using the passive aggressive pulse underneath. So for the last section, we have some strings playing. It's just basically playing what we already heard before. So you start feeling like the piece is gonna end. So for this last big section, something that helps a lot, I think, so that you get a little more punchy sound, is to add this sound here. Is a pulse percussion tension that we talked before, and also getting some good high, doubling some of the high stuff. Like I'm using this bell tension and the huge metallic pulse. It helps to add a little bit of shyness. Same with this pulsing pad I'm still using. and the other pulse as well, the aggressive pulse. And everything else is stuff that we heard before already. We have the last strings, the LA scoring strings, playing this. It's just a little ostinato that I programmed and put it on contact. And of course, all our combination of spiccato things. Where we are. So if you play all the strings, and the brasses are obviously doubling some of the stuff too. That big low brass is the Monster low brass from Cine Brass. And again, some of the Woodwinds from Albion. The same stuff. Oh, for percussion, I also use this library. I forgot about talking about it. It just shows in this section. Yeah, Action Strikes. Using the big cinematic hits ensemble. I think I'm playing the Taiko full ensemble here. So it works nice when you put it on underneath other stuff. I don't usually make it the main thing, the main percussion. I don't feature it that much, but it has that nice groove. Yeah, and that last sound is the Nightmarish Pulse, of course. And that's it. I think that's everything. So that's everything. So I hope you enjoyed this somehow, this long video. And please hit me if you have any questions. Hit me with any question, don't hit me. So sorry for my Spanglish. And you know, and if you have any comments as well. So thank you. See you later.